Tonight on NAIT NewsWatch.
Christmas is less than 2 months away, and online shopping in Canada has already seen an all-time high.
It's allowing our capacity to not be overwhelmed.
With the American election still going, many Canadians are looking south and are awaiting the results.
The outcome of tonight or the next few weeks could have some significant impacts on our country.
The Edmonton police report an increase of crime in the city.
Those who choose to disrupt our city, some of those that choose to in gang and gunplay, unacceptable. We know who you are.
NewsWatch starts now.
Good evening. The hunt for Christmas presents might have to start early this year for some.
That's right, Jonah. If you're planning on surfing the web for gifts this year, getting those boxes checked off your Christmas list early could be key. Our Caroline Smith joins us live from our news center with more on that story.
Thanks, guys. Many people since the pandemic have been taking to online shopping rather than going in store. And with peak season coming up, many stores and shipping companies are seeing an increase in online orders. With the new wave of online shoppers, Canada has hit a new peak in online sales this year, going up 4.2% since 2019. And with the upcoming holiday season, staying distant and shopping have never went more hand in hand.
I've already done probably around 75% of my Christmas shopping, and it's all been done online.
With Black Friday and Cyber Monday right around the corner, Canada Post is recommending you start your holiday shopping early to decrease the chance of shipping delays.
The types of volumes that we've been seeing since the spring, it could cause capacity issues that would result in delays.
In April of 2020, e-commerce hit an all-time high of 3 billion Canadian dollars, which is 24% more than it makes during usual holiday shopping season. Canada Post will be adding 4,000 employees and 1,000 vehicles to their fleet to try and keep up with the demand.
By spreading out the demand of shopping, what that's doing is it's allowing our capacity to not be overwhelmed.
Even small businesses like the Bamboo Ballroom have seen an increase of online orders and curbside pickups by 50%.
It's just like being more organized, shipping out more regularly, making sure our inventory is accurate.
With the combination of companies gearing up and customers spreading their shopping out, packages should be making their way under your Christmas tree in time for the holidays. This is Caroline Smith, NAIT NewsWatch.
Hey Caroline, do you have any tips for online shoppers this year?
Yeah, so some great tips that Haley Megermans gave me was start your shopping early, review your orders so you know your shipping is the right one for you, take advantage of your tracking orders so you can keep an eye on your packages, and give your deliverer some space. Make sure they put down their package and walk away before you open up your door. And finally, find a good hiding space for your presents this year because they might be stashed away for a little longer this year.
Some solid advice. What are some of the most popular online trends?
Yeah, so 3 of the top online stores right now are Amazon, eBay, and Etsy. And the most popular category is fashion-related purchases. But the category that accelerated Canadian online shopping the most was ordering groceries. But you know, these trends have actually resulted in over 14,000 store closures. Stores like Le Chateau, Swimco, and Squish have all had to close their doors, while other stores have had to close many of their locations.
Thanks, Caroline. That's Caroline Smith reporting live from our news center tonight.
You're watching NAIT NewsWatch, the next generation of news.
With Remembrance Day coming up, the Royal Canadian Legion has had to get creative with how they get poppies out to Canadians. The pandemic has caused Remembrance Day ceremonies to look a bit different this year, and that has been the same for the Legion's Poppy campaign. They often are seen out in Edmonton and other Canadian cities handing out poppies in person, but for 2020, they have had to switch to a self-serve poppy box. Canadians will still be able to wear their poppies and keep the memories of fallen soldiers alive.
Also a reminder that here in Canada, thousands upon thousands of people are paying tribute.
The Pay Tribute boxes can be found in many different locations across the city, including at participating HSBC bank branches. The U.S. election is wrapping up soon, Morgan, and it looks like the whole world is watching on the edge of their seat from home.
Yeah, that's right, Jonah. With the current pandemic, what used to be friends and family gathering to watch seems more like people are gathering online to discuss it. It all started Tuesday night, and as we head into the weekend, there's still no clear winner. Erica Kawagas has more on the historic election night and how some Canadians watched intently.
Thanks, guys. This week I had the opportunity to attend the Canadian Public Relations Society's U.S. election watch party. This was just one of many virtual watch parties happening in Edmonton. Hundreds of political watchers, experts, and those who have a stake in the outcome went online to watch the night many have been waiting months for. Whether Donald Trump and the Republicans will secure another 4 more years in the White House.
As a smaller nation living next to a large dominant one, I think the outcome of tonight or the next few weeks could have some significant impacts on our country, our economy, and even our way of life.
Gary Moore, former member of the Alberta Legislative Assembly and the speaker at the CPRS U.S. Election Watch Party, talks about what we can expect and how it will affect trade between U.S. and Canada.
Should Biden win, he has stated fairly consistently over the last 10 years that he's opposed to the Keystone XL pipeline. Compared to a Trump administration, Trump has been shambolic in this, finding Canada as being a security threat and that therefore requiring tariffs on Canadian steels would be a really good example.
Over 30 states recognize Canada as the #1 trade destination, and 60% of Canada's exports come from the 4 western provinces. So the idea of trade infrastructure, such as roads, bridges, or pipelines, will be critical for the future prosperity of Canada. This is Erica Kawagas, NAIT NewsWatch.
Thanks, Erica. That's Erica Kawagas reporting from downtown Edmonton.
Violent crime is on the rise in Edmonton. Edmonton Police Service held an online press conference on Wednesday to give the community an update about what's going on.
Over the past 5 days, we've had 3 serious shootings take place in our city. Some of you saw some of them on video being investigated by our homicide section as well. We've had 2 deaths that were both stabbings in relation to these, obviously not connected to the shootings.
Chief McPhee reported 127 shootings in the city this year and 29 homicides. 47% of those shootings were gang-related. Domestic violence is up 16% and bodily harm with weapons is up 39%. Chief McPhee had a message for those involved in criminal activities.
Those who choose to disrupt our city, some of those that choose to in gang and gunplay, unacceptable. We know who you are and we'll be seeing you soon.
A unique bakery in Edmonton is giving opportunities for young people in our city. The Tip Top Bakery is run out of a church in Old Strathcona and has been up and running since February of last year. It was started by the Trinity Youth Project as a way to help youth gain valuable work experience and help those who may struggle to find job opportunities. Founder of the project, Clark Hardy, started as an outreach youth worker and saw some problems he wanted to address.
And a big need I was identifying with the youth that I was supporting was a need for relationship and social inclusion.
The bakery started by providing food for church members after service, but quickly grew and began partnering with farmers markets and other businesses. Not only does the baker provide a sense of community, but for the workers, but also teaches them valuable skills both in the kitchen and in life.
It's been a long road to the revitalization of the Groat Road Bridge, but after 2 years, the bridge was reopened to the public Monday morning. After 2.5 years and $55 million later, Groat Road Bridge is back to 4 lanes of traffic with added capacity on the shared use pathway. The biggest part of the project was completely replacing the main bridge deck across the river, but also included 2 other bridges at Emily Murphy Park and Victoria Park Road. Commuters across the city breathed a collective sigh of relief as the city reported that the project came in on budget and on time.
Almost 5 days a week, I would be going back and forth. Past week that I've taken the Groat Bridge, it's been great. I haven't had any problems since its opening.
Although the bridge is open again, crews will still be on site over the next couple of weeks to put the finishing touches on the bridge.
Coming up after the break, we'll be taking a look at a NAIT student who started a marketing company right here in Edmonton.
Local businesses that are looking for someone to produce commercials for them are in luck, thanks to the company Vita Voce.
We try to produce a high quality work, and we try to do it at a really low cost.
A new volleyball and pickleball court opens up in Edmonton. The University of Alberta unveiled their new masked mascot logos, and the AJHL has announced its start date. That and more, all coming up in sports.
I'm Todd Murray with NewsWatch Weather, and we'll be taking a look at a chilling forecast for this weekend and more coming up after the break.
This week has been really warm, Morgan. It's felt more like spring than fall, honestly.
Sure has, Jonah. We shouldn't be getting too comfortable with it. Todd Murray has more with weather.
Thank you, guys. And like you know what they say, things don't last forever, especially warm weather. And this weekend, the temperature is going to be dipping back below zero. So starting down south in Calgary, we have a 60% chance of snow, and it could actually be quite heavy. And it will be a low of -4, heating up to only a high of -2 during the day. And it'll be cloudy. And moving over to the mountains in Jasper, we have a 60% chance of precipitation, and it's going to be a lot colder with a low of -12, but it will heat up to -4 during the day. These conditions will be ideal for Marmot Basin, which is scheduled to open later this month. And taking a look at our neighbors of the north in Fort McMurray, they have a less chance for snow, but they're going to be a lot colder with a low of -15 and only heating up to -17 during the day. And finally, looking up in Edmonton, we have a 60% chance of snow, and we could see around 2 to 5 centimeters. And we have a low of only -5, heating up to only a high of -2 during the day. And our average high is only 2, and our average low is -5. So we're definitely on the lower end of the spectrum. And our record low was -21 in 1902, so it seemed more like winter back then. And our record high was actually 15 in 1949. So we actually got quite close this week. That's all I have this week for the weather. So stay safe, dress warm, and wear a poppy.
NewsWatch Weather, sponsored by NR92, the station for the students.
A former radio and television student at NAIT is now a business owner and marketing specialist.
With more on how he uses skills learned at NAIT to launch his company, Madison Gummo reports.
I was doing social media when nobody really understood social media.
Steve Van Diest graduated from NAIT 13 years ago, and since then, he has created his own marketing and production company, Viva Voce. The company focuses on creating social media content and marketing commercials for businesses that don't have the budget typically required for high-end production.
We try to produce a high quality work, and we try to do it at a really low cost.
On the other side of that door is the studio where Steve Van Diest and his business partner Cameron Barkey have ran their production company out of for the last 4 years. Tonight they're going to be live streaming a podcast on the election. Let's go take a look.
Reasonable with how they handle business, she would have done well.
Van Diest started the Thought Exchange podcast last year with his business partner Cameron Barkey.
Working with Steve Van Diest is probably one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life.
The pair started as friends, but one day after discussing career goals, they decided to join forces in business.
Our vision for what we kind of want to do and what we want to accomplish lined up.
They began with small projects for local businesses and now have built up to major commercials.
We have done a few big shows before. We've done a Crystal Glass commercial with Taylor Hall.
The key to success for Van Diest is simple.
Just do it. Like everyone's so concerned about, either making money or trying to get that big perfect job or whatever it is. The reality of the situation, as soon as you start doing it, just keep doing it.
Madison Gummo, NAIT NewsWatch.
Exciting news in the world of sports as the AJHL is starting up its season again.
Also, Edmonton has a new volleyball and pickleball facility. Now to Ben Tompkins in sports for more on those stories.
Thanks, guys. For university athletics this year, COVID-19 has shut down leagues and forced teams to solely practice. Although the U of A is one of those universities, they've done something extra that no other institution has. The University of Alberta has unveiled a new sports logo design where both the Panda and Golden Bear are wearing masks, as well as taking part in social distancing practices.
Our practice shirts, and that's kind of where the idea came from. People saw us with these shirts on and said, wow, that's awesome. Our athletic director Ian Reid jumped on board and said, you know, if you can get one with a panda on it, I'd like to promote that logo for the athletics department. And that's kind of how it grew.
For the U of A, they are very proud of how this logo has showed their dedication to maintaining proper protocol, as well as representing their commitment to keeping their student athletes safe. For anyone looking for something to do this winter and to get out and get some exercise, pickleball or volleyball might just be the activity that you've been searching for. A new pickleball and volleyball facility has recently opened up in Edmonton. It provides a safe and warm indoor space to socialize and compete with fellow Edmontonians.
Being a volleyball family, we knew even 15, 20 years ago that Edmonton needed something. So we took that jump and that leap of faith to say, let's open up a volleyball facility. And then we also felt we needed some revenue in the daytime to make it work. So that's where the pickleball came into play with it.
With pickleball being a sport enjoyed by quite a few seniors, Dave knows that come wintertime, it will only become busier with less and less people heading down south this year. For hockey and sports fans alike in Alberta right now, it has been an exciting week thanks to one league announcing it is set to return.
Long shot rebound there for Trentham, and you've got to be kidding me, Pierce Charleston.
The AJHL has officially announced it is ready to start its season back up, becoming one of very few leagues to do so. They are set to begin with their first game back next Friday, November the 13th.
It's a very different looking league, but one that I know everybody is super excited to be back on the ice for. And really more so because we're actually getting out there soon. So we are considering ourselves pretty lucky out here in the West to be on the ice at all, but certainly as soon as we are as well.
Although the AJHL doesn't officially know the complete picture of how the entire season is going to pan out, they do know one thing. For every game going forward, they will be allowing 100 fans at every game. The Edmonton Oilers have made yet another free agent signing. However, what's different about this one is that the player is a longtime friend of one of the Oilers' best.
He scores! What a play! Dominic Cahoon!
Dominic Cahoon is a longtime friend of Leon Draisaitl, dating back to their years in Germany together. Cahoon played most of the season with Pittsburgh last year before ending the season with Buffalo.
I think he's capable of doing a lot of the things that Leon Draisaitl does, and it doesn't hurt that they're both really good friends and really feed off each other off the ice as well. So I think for Draisaitl, it's a pure fit. It's a great fit.
Not only does Cahoon bring extra chemistry to the team, but he also adds to the Oilers' roster depth, which is very important for a team that is looking to be a top contender in the battle for Lord Stanley.
Wow, Ben. Pickleball looked like a lot of fun. Did you get a chance to play any games while you were there?
Unfortunately, I did not. I didn't really have time, but to be honest, I was kind of scared to go play because I knew I'd probably get destroyed by some old-timers.
Yeah, Ben, I would totally pay money to watch you get destroyed by a bunch of old folks. That's Ben Tompkins with NAIT NewsWatch Sports.
Coming up after the break, we take a look at an Edmontonian who took her hobby a step further.
One Edmonton woman is sewing her creativity together by stitching iconic pieces of the city onto 6-inch hoops.
It's a really fun, calming activity to do, and it's nice to keep your hands busy, and it's nice to be creative.
Paige Gordon here for this week of entertainment. I'm here downtown for Downtown Dining Week and have the scoop for all the upcoming events in Edmonton. That and more on entertainment.
You're watching NAIT NewsWatch, the next generation of news.
With Halloween now being over, many are now looking forward to upcoming Christmas events in our city.
It's going to be interesting to see which Christmas events are still going to run amid the pandemic. Let's check in with Paige Gordon with our entertainment report.
Thanks, guys. It's safe to say all events that have taken place this year have had to adapt in order to still go ahead. One of those events is a beloved Edmonton holiday event that is going completely virtual for the very first time in 36 years. The Festival of Trees is an annual holiday event put on by the University Hospital Foundation and has served as a kickoff for the holiday season for many Edmontonians. The festival made the decision to go virtual while still offering fun holiday activities such as group video visits with Santa and story time with Mrs. Claus. However, the in-person interactive part of the festival is going to be missed.
I volunteered in the secret shop, so I got to bring little kids around, and the parents would give them like a certain amount of money and they get to buy Christmas presents for their parents. So it was always really exciting seeing all the little kids get so excited over getting their mom or dad a Christmas gift.
And while you may not be able to see the trees in person, you are able to rent a custom decorated tree from the festival that will be delivered and assembled by the festival elves. If you're looking for an event to spice up your Instagram feed, look no further. Edmonton's most Instagram-worthy light festival is back again this year.
Millions of snowflakes falling from heaven.
Glow Edmonton starts on November 18th and is back for another year of festive lights, live performances, and lots more holiday fun for the entire family. The festival has put an effort to make all attending feel comfortable by making masks be worn all times and temperature screening before entering the event. The decision was made that Glow simply couldn't go virtual.
When you go to Glow, it's a feeling that you get. It really creates that Christmas spirit. You know, it kind of jump starts you into the Christmas season and having that spirit. And the way to do that, again, is by hitting all your senses. It's not just your visual sense, but, smell and touch and the things you hear.
A noteworthy new attraction at Glow this year is a scavenger hunt to find all of Santa's reindeer that have ran off on him. Movie fans and critics are in for a treat. This week marks the start of not one, but 2 film festivals in Edmonton. The Northwest Fest and Rainbow Visions Film Festivals have come together for 10 days of movie fun. The festival started on Thursday at the Metro Theatre and will be showing 36 movies. While the festival is missing some interactive components from past years, such as live Q&As with filmmakers, the festival has adapted to COVID restrictions to keep the atmosphere of what makes the festival special.
I mean, obviously, I think this year is going to be different. We're not going to be seeing audience growth anywhere, but the fact that we can at least still try and put on an in-person event, we're pretty excited about, and we're being super cautious and safe so that people can feel secure about coming out to, because I realize movies and restaurants are not, I guess, what would be considered essential businesses right now, but I think for a lot of people's sanity, they kind of are essential.
Times, listings, and tickets are all available through the festival's website, northwestfest.ca. Downtown Dining Week is winding down this weekend, and many restaurants are aiming for a busy closing weekend. Downtown Dining Week usually takes place during March. However, the pandemic put that to a halt when everything was forced to shut down. With the rescheduling of the week in September, it gave restaurants a chance to try out new services and menus for the week and give new restaurants a chance to
Downtown
participate.
Dining Week used to be dine-in only. This is the first time that we've had like a takeout component for it, because they wanted to just like adapt for COVID, or say like if dine-in got like closed down, like which happened last time, instead of like canceling it, that people could kind of pivot and offer it for takeout.
There are many different ways to participate in Downtown Dining Week this year. You can dine in, order 3-course meals offered by some restaurants, or purchase a gift card to use on a later visit. People were finding out ways to go through quarantine in the early stage of pandemic. Meet Muriel Mappa, who turned her pandemic activity embroidery into her small business. Medina Amrazadi reports.
It started because of quarantine of 2020.
Lockdown was a great chance for Mappa to discover her new passion and talent of embroidery. Since then, she enjoys creativity of this activity and keeps making beautiful handcrafts.
It's a really fun, calming activity to do, and it's nice to keep your hands busy, and it's nice to be creative.
Since lockdown, Mappa started turning anything that inspires her into needlecrafts. Her first piece of houseplant, followed by florals, interiors, TV shows, and city views. Then, people's interest in her handcrafts turned it into a small business, which doesn't surprise a specialist. Kyler says that people like buying handcrafts, especially when it's a gift.
People are more interested in things that are made by hand and not coming from Amazon, because that's becoming so big that people say, I wanted something that I made, or I want to give it to somebody as a gift.
Getting my art noticed by more than just my small group of friends and family has been amazing.
Now, Mapa showcase and sell her hand embroideries through Naked and Afraid Instagram account and website. Besides her own online mediums, her handcrafts will be available on Makers Market from the middle of November. But it's just the beginning. She aims to join more online markets and Royal Basin Craft Fair to sell her creative pieces. Medina Emersay, NAIT NewsWatch.
I can't wait for all these holiday events to start up. I personally can't wait to go to Groat this year to get the perfect holiday selfie. That's all I have for entertainment this week. I hope you have a fabulous weekend.
It's great to see all these events still taking place in our city over the holiday season.
I think it's a little too early to start with the holidays, but still, I can't wait to light the menorah. Have a great weekend, Edmonton.